Have you ever wondered if we live more than just one life? This intriguing question has captivated minds across the globe and throughout history, leading us to the concept of reincarnation, the belief that our soul is reborn in a new body after death. From the ancient civilizations to modern societies, this idea has found a place in many cultures. But what if I told you that the fascinating tale of reincarnation is not as it seems? Join us as we travel through time and space, exploring the fascinating history of reincarnation. Our journey begins thousands of years ago, in the ancient civilizations of the world. Let's travel back in time to when the concept of reincarnation first took root. It was in places like India, Egypt, and Greece where this idea was born and nurtured. Key figures like the Greek philosopher Pythagoras and texts such as the Indian Upanishads propagated the belief of a soul's rebirth into a new body after death. In India, the belief in reincarnation was a cornerstone of Hinduism and Buddhism, shaping philosophies and cultures. In Egypt, the Book of the Dead spoke of the soul's journey through the afterlife with a chance of return. And in Greece, Pythagoras famously claimed to have lived multiple lives, each one a lesson for the next. However, as we move towards the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, the landscape of belief changed. In the West, reincarnation came under fire. The Church viewed it as a threat to the doctrine of resurrection, leading to its suppression. But this wasn't the end of reincarnation's story. In the East, reincarnation found a safe haven. It flourished in the philosophies of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. The idea of an eternal soul journeying through lives became a defining characteristic of these cultures. And thus, despite its suppression in some parts of the world, the belief in reincarnation persisted and spread. Fast forward to the modern era, where reincarnation has taken on new forms and interpretations. In today's world, the concept of reincarnation has evolved beyond its traditional religious roots. It's been adopted and modified by various New Age movements and spiritual practices, each adding their unique twist to this ancient belief. Not just confined to the spiritual realm, it's also found its way into popular culture and media. We see it in movies, books, and TV shows, often used as a plot device to explore themes of karma, destiny, and the cyclical nature of life. It's even inspired metaphysical theories about parallel universes and quantum physics. Despite the lack of empirical evidence, it's fascinating how this age-old belief has managed to adapt and thrive in our modern scientific world. Reincarnation, it seems, has become a part of our global cultural fabric. But what does science say about reincarnation? Let's dive into the scientific perspective. Science, as we know, is rooted in empirical evidence, testable explanations, and predictions about the universe. When it comes to reincarnation, there's a notable absence of such evidence. There have been numerous attempts to scientifically validate reincarnation, but none have been successful. Let's take Ian Stevenson's work, for instance. This 20th century psychiatrist devoted much of his career to investigating claims of reincarnation, particularly among children. However, his methods were widely criticized. Skeptics pointed out that his research relied heavily on anecdotal evidence and lacked rigorous scientific methodology. The children's memories could easily have been influenced by suggestion or might simply be the product of vivid imaginations. In the realm of neuroscience, reincarnation also faces a significant hurdle. The concept hinges on the survival of personal identity after death. Yet modern neuroscience tells us that our consciousness, memories, and personality, the essence of who we are intimately tied to the physical brain. When the brain ceases to function at death, so too does our consciousness. This understanding fundamentally challenges the notion of a soul or consciousness that could somehow survive death and be reborn in a new body. Philosophically, reincarnation presents a paradox. If we are to be reborn as a different person, with no memory of our past life, then in what sense are we truly the same individual? This raises deep questions about the nature of identity and selfhood that reincarnation struggles to answer convincingly. In conclusion, while reincarnation is a captivating concept that has enthralled human imagination for millennia, from a scientific viewpoint, it lacks the empirical evidence, logical consistency, and philosophical clarity needed to stand up to scrutiny. So, while the idea of living multiple lives may be fascinating, it appears that reincarnation remains a belief, not a reality.